Welcome to Save the Story podcast, where books and snacks are life. I'm Nicole. That's Vanessa.
Hello.
Yo.
Sup?
Sup?
How's it going?
Oh, it's so great. I love being old.
It's really the best.
I know. Another item to add to the long list of things that are just terrible about being old. Mm-hmm. I'm going to share it anyways. I know you just got to experience it with me.
That's
but
okay.
I went outside with the dogs 40 minutes ago now maybe, and I was sitting in the swing while they were using the restroom, and I looked at my phone while I was swinging back and forth, and I immediately was like, oh, I'm going to throw up. So I had to go lay down for a half an hour. My motion sickness.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's intense for you to get it that quickly with just sitting on the swing.
Mm-hmm. I think it was the side to side motion, not a regular, because I wasn't in it like a regular swing. I was back and forth with my feet propped up on the tree. So
you did it to yourself then.
I know. I must have.
You can only swing regularly. You cannot swing side to side.
So yeah, like I was saying, I am tired of being old. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and since we moved, I don't know where any of my my anti-nausea stuff is. So I'm gonna have to rebuy all of that, I think, because
restock your emergency kit.
Yes. So
no, that's crazy. I didn't realize. I know we have talked about it before because you said you had researched the motion sickness thing for when you're in the car and stuff, but I didn't realize it was so bad that when you're on a swing. Yeah. It'll
Swings,
get you.
Yeah. It's not great.
No, that does not sound it. Has it been like that forever, or has it gotten worse as you got older?
I feel like it's gotten worse as I've gotten older. I used to be able to, we used to travel all the time and stuff like that. And I would be fine, traveling and, but now, and some of it's probably in my head too, but now, if we get on a plane and there's even the smidgiest bit of turbulence, I immediately break out in a sweat and I'm like,
oh no. Hyperventilating.
Not quite, just that low pant where you have before you you feel like you're gonna vomit, so you just you can't take deep breaths. So
that's not great.
Welcome.
Welcome to our old age. Yeah, I feel like it definitely has gotten worse. It's not, I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as yours, but mine kind of shifted. I feel like I used to be worse in the car, and now I'm pretty fine with the car. But when I was younger, I could do roller coasters like nothing. And then when I hit 30, I feel like roller coasters became iffy.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate because it's very fun. But I feel like that's I've switched a little bit in my motion sicknesses.
Yeah, that's what happened to Mike too. He was fine with roller coasters, and then sometime in his 30s, he one day went on a roller coaster with E, and then he came out and he's like, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate because it's so fun, and you get you're totally fine with it forever, and you're I've done this one 100 times, it'll be totally fine, and there's that one time that you do it and it's well, shit.
Yep.
Things are not good.
Yeah, I've been on a roller coaster one time.
That's it?
That's it. One time. I can't I can't do it. So
oh no.
I had to lay down outside of the roller coaster. I found a bench and I laid down for 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And the only reason I got up was because we were leaving, because we were at Disney. So I had to get up so we could leave the park.
To leave, yes.
So it was just me walking 25 feet and then stopping and being and then walking
so funny.
Yeah, oh man, it was.
So there's only. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's one of those times where I don't remember much
Okay.
Like, my brain automatically dumped all those memories. It was like, you don't
I mean,
want to
that's
relive
fair.
that ever.
Yeah. Yes. You know, not to have vomit talk. Sorry for everyone, but there's literally only one ride that I've ever ridden, and I've tried it 3 different times, and all 3 times it's made me throw up.
Oh no.
And I don't think that one is due to age. That one is literally just due to what it is, like the type of roller coaster that it is. I think it's called X2. Oh, I can't remember what it's called now, but it was for anybody wondering, it's at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I think it's called X2, and the seat moves as you're going too. So like if you're going down on the roller coaster, the seat leans forward. No, it doesn't like move to the side, but it like will lean forward, and then when you're going up, the seat leans back too. And so I mean, it's been a lot of years since I've ridden it at this point, so it might do more than that, but that's what I remember. And the first time I was like, oh, it's just a fluke, like I ate something or whatever. And then it happened 2 more times, all in 3 different occasions too, so it's not like I tried it in the same day. But I just eat shitty food afterwards and I feel better.
I wish.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish.
It's,
Man, that'd be so nice.
a crazy... man, I miss Magic Mountain. I want to go back.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, I would go to the parks to eat like the crappy food and, you know, walk around. And because, I mean, we've taken our son to Disney since then. And, like Universal Studios and like stuff like that. And so when they go off to ride the roller coaster, I'm like, I'm gonna go sit in this place and drink. Come find me when you're done.
See you later.
Yeah.
That's fun. I mean, really the food is important, obviously. Well, I'm glad you're better and that we were able to record.
Yes. I was like, I cannot say no to recording today. I must do this. I must get up. So, yeah.
Great. I'm glad.
Yeah. So, speaking of good food choices, how was your week? Any great snacks?
In food choices? So I'll tell you right now, I've really, really trying to be good. Like, I know. For those not watching, Nicole gave me a face. I'm really trying to be good. I'm trying to just like dial in my nutrition. I've really let it go. I'm at this point blaming the podcast.
Okay.
For making me eat snacks. So
yes.
I do have a snack for today, but I'm just going to warn you now that I'm not going to promise a snack over the next like 2 months.
Aww.
If I have to, I'm going to do like I did last week and use like a childhood snack, like a Fluffernutter or something, which I did not try this weekend because I went to the grocery store and was like, I cannot have that in my house.
I will eat all the Fluffernutters.
I will eat it all. So I didn't do it. I'm very sad. Maybe one day I will try it again. But I saying all that, I do have a snack. I randomly saw Goldfish has cinnamon roll flavored. Like, they're basically little graham cracker goldfishies that are cinnamon and sugar. Like, that's really what it is. And they're delightful. I did make them last like a week and a half because I just had like a little bit here and there. So I still did okay. But cinnamon roll graham cracker. No. Cinnamon roll goldfishies are my snack this week.
Nice. Have you ever seen the butterbeer ones?
No.
Yeah, they make butterbeer flavored goldfish for Harry Potter. So
nice.
Yeah.
So I don't typically walk down that aisle in the grocery store. It's very rare that I walk down that aisle. So it was this aisle caught me in a moment of weakness.
I'll just walk through just this one time.
I'll just do it. It's fine. Nobody will see me. And then the goldfishy saw me.
You want us. We're delicious.
Yes. So I will say I've never seen the butterbeer ones because I don't usually look in that area. But next time in a moment of weakness, who knows?
It could be. Yeah,
who knows what will call to me.
Yeah. So I've got them and brought them home before, and I thought they were just okay.
Okay.
I mean, I've had, like, the different knockoff versions of butterbeer, and we had butterbeer when we were at, like, Universal. But I didn't really get butterbeer.
From the goldfishies?
Yeah. I mean, I guess, like, you get, like, that little bit of butterscotch, but other than that, I was just like, does this count?
I feel like that's a weird flavor to make into a cracker. Like,
it feels like it would be hard.
Yeah, I don't see that. I could definitely make it easy into like a cookie, maybe, because you could just cover it in some sort of like icing or something like that.
Right.
But in a cracker or like a goldfish type situation, I feel like that's a hard one. So
yeah, well,
good for them for trying.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to, like, we were talking about, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before, when we were talking about Peeps, and it's like, oh, churro Peeps, and I'm like, this is a Peep covered in cinnamon and sugar.
Yeah.
This is not churro flavored, right?
No.
So I kind of felt like it was one of those things where they made like a butterscotch goldfish, and they were like, it's butterbeer, and I was like,
yeah,
okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Sure, it is.
Those kind of like these cinnamon rolls, like it doesn't taste like a cinnamon roll. It just tastes like a graham cracker with cinnamon sugar on it. So
yeah,
but they call it cinnamon roll. Whatever. But I still think it was a fun snack. And one of the days I crushed up some of them and put them in my my yogurt bowl, so it gave it a little bit more sweetness.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was good. But that's my one and only snack this week.
Yeah. I
am the opposite.
I am the opposite. So, yeah, we talked about fluffernutters, I think last week, and I was like, well, I have to try one. But I didn't have peanut butter.
Right.
And I was going to use almond butter, which I did. And it was very good. But I also realized that I have a whole bunch of Nutella.
But we said that Nutella was too much.
I know. I tried it with Nutella.
Okay.
And it was true. It was too much.
I believe it, yes.
But because then I was hooked on Nutella, and Nutella fever, apparently, I also was putting Nutella on strawberries and eating the strawberries, which are delightful. That's not my snack, though, because my shame snack this week...
Great.
My shame snack this week is when the Nutella jar was empty. So all it was just like whatever was left on the side. I poured like that much milk into it, and I just shook it up until all the Nutella was gone off the sides, and then I drank the Nutella milk.
Okay.
Like a psychopath.
And how was that?
It was delicious.
I believe it.
And I would do it again.
Okay.
Luckily, we don't have any more Nutella.
At least you're getting every cent out of your jar of Nutella, right? Like,
exactly.
Leaving no traces behind.
Yeah. I feel like if I was smarter about it, I could have saved it, done the same thing in the morning, and then put like, my espresso in it, and it would have been just fantastic.
Oh, next time.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just clicked for me what you said. It took me a second to process. I was like, what?
Yeah. So I'm not saying that I'm going to run out and buy a jar of Nutella. And then eat it all so I can put it but
you're also not saying that?
But I'm also not saying that, or not saying, I don't know. It won't happen. No. I'm going to be good.
Okay. Are you going to jump on my good snack trade?
No.
Good snack train?
No.
Okay.
I know myself.
I guess I'll just be here by myself then.
Yes. So I'm going to, instead of chocolate milk as my snack this week, can I say Nutella milk?
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool. That's my snack. I'm just going to rate everything in shame snacks.
Okay. That sounds great. I feel like you're probably not alone.
Oh, no.
So let's call to action. Listeners, have you ever done this? Please tell us. Like, send us a DM, send us a comment on our last post or something like that, and just tell us if you've also drank Nutella milk.
Yes, let me know I'm not the only one doing this.
Yes.
Which I can't be.
You cannot be, but yeah, so. Let's see how let's make Nicole not feel so shame.
Right.
So much shame.
Yeah. Or if you have a jar of Nutella, I give you permission to eat the entire jar, put the milk in there, shake it up, drink it, and tell me what you think.
That's right. I like this better. Do you need a permission slip? We'll give you one.
I'll make one. We'll post it.
Yeah. That's great. Well, I don't know if you're ready for this or not, but Mr. Chatty's Corner this week is food related. So if you are ready for that, I can give it to you. I
am ready.
Okay.
I love snack talk.
Recently, when we were talking about the fluffernutters and we found out that New England claims the fluffernutter, we asked if there are state sandwiches.
Oh, jeez. Did you ask?
I asked Mr. Chatty about state sandwiches, and sadly, state sandwiches is not a thing. So officially, because you know how officially the states will claim like flowers and birds and whatever.
Right.
There's no official state sandwiches. So unfortunately for that. However, he did give me some where like there's a lot of states who have sandwiches that are like deeply associated with them.
Okay.
So I'll give you some of the examples that he gave. So that one was Louisiana with the po' boy, Pennsylvania with the Philly cheesesteak, obviously.
Both make sense.
Yes. They had Florida has a Cuban sandwich. A New York is a pastrami and rye. Oh, pastrami on rye. Sorry. And then Maine as a lobster roll. All of those make sense, right? So I specifically asked California because we made a guess about like some avocado toast or something. Right. And then Ohio and Michigan. So I asked for those three. So California, he said the French dip. Oh. Because it was originated in LA and it's like a big sandwich there. But he did say that an honorable mention is anything with avocado.
Yeah.
So we were half right, I guess. In Ohio, he says it's the Polish boy. It's a kielbasa, sausage, coleslaw, French fries, and barbecue sauce, all stuffed in a bun.
That actually sounds delicious.
Okay. And he said the reason it fits is because it's a Cleveland-born beast and is as bold and unpretentious as the Midwest.
Oh, okay.
And yes, and then he said that an honorable mention is a fried bologna sandwich, which I guess is big in Southern Ohio.
Oh, I love fried bologna sandwiches.
Okay, well, apparently you love the Ohio sandwiches.
Yes.
And Michigan, he said the Coney dog, and yes, it's a sandwich. Don't at me. That's what he said.
You know what? If we're of the mindset that fucking hot dogs are sandwiches because they're in between pieces of bread, then yes, I would have totally said the Coney dog. There's literally Coney Islands every 15 feet.
Yep. So that's what he said. He said the sandwich scene is dominated for its love of the Coney dog, especially in Detroit, is what he said. And then he also said the honorable mention for Michigan is the Olive Burger, which is in the west side of the state, and pasties in the UP.
See, that's another one. If that's what we're calling a sandwich, like a calzone, a Midwest calzone, like, come on. This needs to be a poll.
Okay, great. He did say it's not a sandwich, but it's iconic, so it fits.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, it's iconic. Yeah, if we're just iconic foods. But,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, this needs to be a poll. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I need to know.
I don't know how I feel about it because I don't eat hot dogs, so I have no skin in the game.
No hot dog skin.
No hot dog skin. So that's where I didn't go through all of them. Obviously, I was just concerned with those 3 because we talked about them and because we live in them. But that's my Chatty's Corner, my Mr. Chatty's Corner this week.
That's a good Mr. Chatty's Corner. I'm glad you followed up on that because as soon as we stopped recording, I must have forgotten.
I only remembered it because I was editing. And while I was editing the episode, I was like, oh shit. And I wrote it down.
Yeah. I know I've said this before. Like, I'll go back and listen to our episodes like later. And I'm always a couple weeks behind because I only go back and listen when I'm like running.
Yeah.
But I'll be listening and I'm like, oh yeah, we talked about that. I should bring it up again. Like, you can follow up with this.
Yes.
And then as soon as I get done with my run, I forget.
That's okay. It's all right. I try to remember them when I'm editing, but once I'm done editing and it's out, it's over for me. Like, it's not coming back unless somebody brings it up. So if there's ever listeners, if there's ever something that we bring up and never talk about again that you want us to, please reach out to us.
Yes, it's because we've literally forgotten.
Yes, remember, we're 40-year-old midlife crisis situation over here.
I got bigger problems.
That's right. Nicole's basically dying from swinging on the swing. So please reach out to us in any way possible that you can think of, and we will if you reach out to us, it becomes a higher priority, and we will for sure talk about it.
Yes, because when we get listener comments or questions or anything, it's like, all right, I have to write this down.
Yes.
We actually have listener talk.
Yes. We actually have people who care about us.
Exactly.
So that's all I have this week.
Nice.
Are you ready to tell me about your books?
Sure.
Okay. Tell me. Right now.
Right. Okay.
Thank you.
This is very serious.
Yes.
All right. Well, I am going to talk about 2 books this week. I know I sent you a text earlier that I had a pretty big book week. I had like 5 books this week. But I don't need to talk about all 5 books. I've finally come to your side of the where I'm saving a book, not because I'm like, I have to have one for a rainy day, but because I don't have notes for all of them. And
okay, great.
I've always known this. It's really easy. If you're reading like romance novels, it's so easy to just punch out a romance, like especially if you're listening, in like a day.
Yeah.
Because I can totally multitask and listen to a romance because, like, you're listening, he's like, I don't know if I could do this, blah, 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 I don't know if I can love them, and then, like, you, like, tune back in 45 minutes later and, like, I don't know if I can love them, blah, 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 and I'm like, yes, all right, still there.
Yeah, I missed nothing.
Okay, got it, cool. So 3 of the 5 books that I read this week were romance novels or rom-coms. Okay. So nice. I was like, I don't need to talk about 3 romance books in one day.
No.
So I'll only talk about 2. No, I'm just joking. Just 1.
Oh, okay.
So one of the books that I did want to talk about is number 3 in the Murderbot Diaries.
Oh, yes. I was like, what book is number 3?
So this one is called Rogue Protocol.
Okay.
By Martha Wells. It's Kindle Unlimited right now, and it is sci-fi. So, all right. So Murderbot has learned his earlier disappearance from book 1 has caused issues for one of the only humans Murderbot can tolerate. So he's going to go do some investigating on a planet to see if he can find some evidence against the company that is coming at her. So once he gets to the planet, though, he needs a way to blend in. So he goes with a group of research scientists as their security consultant.
Okay.
And of course, it can't just be easy for Murderbot, because humans have a tendency to get into trouble. They're easily fragile, so he has to keep saving humans, even though he doesn't like them.
Of course.
So, poor Murderbot.
Yeah.
I can't believe humans keep putting him in this situation. So,
do you find that they are super connected to, like, each book is super connected, or are you finding them to be kind of standalone-y, but also like they fit into a bigger picture?
So they all can be listened standalone. Okay. I think at least the first three. They all go together really well. It's kind of one of those where within the first book and the third book, things are happening back to back to back to back. Okay. So it's not like it's a month later. Okay. Or something like that. So Martha does a pretty good job telling you what you need to know to be in the book, and like I have to save a human again. Just like and explains a lot of, the succinct, like, quickly going by like things that he maybe has told you in book 1 or 2, but still being like, I can do these things. Okay. Just reiterating in case you haven't read the other ones. Okay. I would still go and read from the beginning.
Of course.
Don't pull a Nicole and accidentally read the second or third book. So this book is 158-ish pages long. Okay. It's a really quick read, which is another reason I was able to read so many books this week. I actually read this book and number 4 in the same day.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will also say, though, that I think book 3 and book 4 probably could have been combined into one book.
Okay.
Because they're both about 150 pages.
Okay.
She probably could have just combined them because they're so close in, like, plot and scope and timeline and stuff. So I've been enjoying all of these books because I know I've said in previous episodes that I enjoy being explained to, like, if you want to call it the science or the tech. Yeah. So he explains everything that he's doing, how he's getting through different security, how he's trying to act. I'm using air quotes again. I keep using them. How he's trying to act like a human when he's not a human. Right. So in this book, we start to get a little bit better of understanding of what Murderbot himself wants, because in book 1, he considers himself to be a robot. In book 3, he's developing more of a personality.
So he has his own wants and needs.
Yes. Oh, so he starts to explain, or at least discover himself what some of those might be. Okay. In this book, there's some pretty good supporting characters. I think they're all new. Okay. And, he meets another robot. Her name is Mickey. And he
is she a sex bot?
She's not a sex bot.
Damn it.
She's like she's just a regular bot, I guess. Okay. But because she hangs out with humans and she, air quote, loves humans, he calls her a pet robot. So,
that sounds like a dig.
It is a dig.
Okay.
It's very condescending. But I really liked it. I thought the story was entertaining. The pace was fine. It's like a little bit slow because he's in the beginning of the book, he's basically traveling from one point to another. So if you want to say the first 30 or 40 pages of the book is just him explaining what he's doing and getting there and stuff like that. In a 158 page book, that's pretty significant.
Yeah, for sure.
If it was a full size, like a full length book, that wouldn't have been a big deal.
Size book.
A full size book. But yeah, I don't know. In this one, I would say probably my only concern, if you want to call it that, is the ending felt abrupt. It was just, he was like, this isn't what we're doing. Bang. Okay, we're done here. And he left, and I was like, huh. All right.
So that ending even makes it sound even more so like book 3 and 4 should have been combined.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. So I don't know why. I don't know why they were split.
Yeah.
I didn't really do any research into that because I read them in the same day, so I treated it as one book.
Right.
I thought about doing the second book as one and just treating it like one book for the for this review, but I decided against it.
Okay.
So I gave this book 4
Shame snack.
Yes, thank you. I was trying to remember what the Nutella was. I was trying to remember the word Nutella. So yes, I would have 4 shame snacks today.
Okay, great.
For this book.
Okay,
second book. This is a romance. I listened to it. It is called Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. Okay, yep. So this is number 1 in the Part of Your World series. So for this book, there's a woman, her name is Alexis, and she's passing through this small town on her way home. She's coming back from a funeral.
Okay.
And the only reason she stops in this town is because of a near-death experience involving a raccoon.
Okay.
And she meets a gentleman.
Okay.
At a bar.
Okay, great.
So after a couple rounds of I never do this, and half a dozen of those moments, the next scene is Alexis waking up the next morning in this gentleman's bed, and her hightailing it out of there before he wakes up.
Oh no!
Yeah.
All
right. In between that and some reasons that they have to continue to talk.
Okay.
Everything about the relationship is like a casual short-term friend with benefits. She doesn't want to date. She's just, her parents wouldn't approve. He is like, a small town guy looking, and she's a beautiful woman, blah, blah, blah. And then like a lot of things that just kind of like keep pushing them together into situations. But in the end, it's just, even though their compatibility is so great, Alexis and Daniel, they're just too different. And it would be impossible for them to make anything of it. The end.
Does it not? It ends terribly?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. I had a really hard time with the description on this because I was like, I should just read the description from the book.
Okay.
But basically, yeah, it's just it's like a forced proximity, strangers to lovers or whatever.
Okay.
And, and then also like she's from the city and he's from a small town. So it's like all those
opposites attract.
It's like all of those things.
Okay.
So
they do end up together.
They do.
Okay. You tried
Spoiler.
to lead me astray.
I know. So I think if I was, so like I was saying, this one is a romance. I've never read an Abby Jimenez. So that I've never read one of her books before. I don't know if this is her style of book, but it was just like, like it felt like she was trying to be slow burn.
Okay.
But the very first chapter is like her hooking up with a guy. So she's just like, oh, I went home with him. And then the next day I woke up and I'm naked and I took off, right?
Right.
And then after that, it's like slow burn. And then almost at the end, like they finally hook up. So I guess if you want to call it slow burn.
We've had this conversation before, and I feel like where we landed was you can't call it slow burn if they fuck in the beginning. Or
right.
Because I think my problem was that it was called slow burn and they through like all book 2 and in book 1 they slept together. So like
right.
Yeah. What I guess the slow burn in this situation is their like connection is a slow burn, but their physical already.
Yeah, already did all of that.
Okay.
You know, been there, done that.
Yeah.
But it's not explained. It's like literally just like, I went over to his house, and then the next chapter is her being like, I ran away. And I was like,
So she did the, like, a walk of shame, quote unquote.
right, yeah. So, there are some triggers in this book. Talks a lot about, like, mental health issues. Like, there's PTSD, there's depression, there's domestic abuse and domestic violence.
Okay.
So that's all the triggers, I think. I have to look at my notes. Okay, so a couple things about the audio book. I did not like actually, I didn't like either of the narrators.
It was a dual narration?
It's a dual narration, male and female. The girls it wasn't terrible. It was just, I was just like, okay, you have one voice for everybody, whatever. The guy doing a woman's voice, though, had, like I said, the same voice for every single woman. And it was one of those where she just sounded like, I don't know, like 90s prep girl. I don't know. With like that nasally, like, oh my God, guys. And I was just like, I can't do this. I cannot again.
Oh, no.
So I don't think I would suggest, I mean, it wasn't enough where I stopped listening, but it was definitely enough where every time he did her voice, I was just like, ugh.
Did changing the speed help at all, or no?
Not for me. I was listening in anywhere between 1.2 and 1.4, and it didn't really help anything.
That's unfortunate.
Yes. There is one part in this, well, not one part. There is one sentence in this book. Abby, please don't pick a thing that a character does and then apply it to everybody every single time.
No.
She kept saying, like, he or she sucked air through their teeth.
Oh.
And I get you're trying to explain something, but please stop saying it. Like, I was keeping a ticker, like I was writing it because it was happening so frequent. And it wasn't just, at first it was just the girl, the main female lead.
Okay.
And I got to like 5 or 6, and then other people started doing it, and I was like, no, you have to stop this. I hate
that can't be the descriptive thing for everybody person every time they have a reaction. So when did you stop counting, like, total?
About 8.
Okay.
And that's just because I didn't have my book near me because I forgot to take it to work. So I lost track.
Okay.
So I just my opinion, the main male character lead felt too perfect.
Okay.
There was just nothing wrong with him.
Okay.
He never did anything wrong in the book. He never said anything wrong. Like, you know how there's in romances, there's always like the third act breakup where
hate it.
Something happens. He didn't do anything. It was her freaking out, and then she realizes, oh, he's perfect, and like, yeah, I know.
I fucking hate a third act breakup. It's like the worst. Do you call it a trope? I don't know. I hate it.
Yeah. I'm not really a fan of it, especially when you have like 2 hours left in the book and they're so close to a happily ever after, and you look at the timestamp and you're like,
yeah,
this is suspicious.
Why can't something else happen? Like, something else happens that, like, comes in and, like, tries to break them up or something like that. Like, let them fight something together. Like, let's not make them fight each other.
Yeah, that would be nice. But this book is not one of those books.
Okay.
There's definitely a third act breakup, and of course it's not his fault. He's just too perfect, which was lame. I mean, I get in romances you want your male character to be like handsome and sexy, and everybody like wants to be. Like, give him something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying he has to, like, I don't know, not wash his hand after he pees, but, like, something, right? He can't just, it just can't, he I mean, becomes
that feels
boring.
like, that feels like a small thing that you could throw at him. Like, I don't know.
Like, every time I shook his hand, I knew I was touching his penis. Like,
okay.
But because I knew, like I was saying earlier about the third act breakup, and because the guy is just too perfect, the book was kind of predictable.
Okay.
It was definitely followed the rom-com, direction, and I ended up liking it as far as like I was able to listen to it and I enjoyed pretty much the whole thing. Even it was just one of those, it was kind of like how you feel about like reading a cozy book where you know nothing is really going to happen. You know, everything's going to turn out perfectly. It was like we were saying earlier, I picked this book because I wanted something I could listen to. But if I was doing something else and I missed 10 or 15 minutes or 5 minutes or something, I wasn't really missing anything.
Right.
So,
that's
but
fair.
because of that, I would say like a 3.5.
Okay.
Shame snacks. I haven't decided if I would round up or down though.
Okay.
So I'm going to stick with 3.5 today.
All right.
And I'll see how I feel
later. Okay. I recently have been kind of on like a romance kind of kick for that same kind of reason, where it's something I could just listen to. I don't really tune out as much as that though, because it's still, that gives me anxiety to tune out of it or whatever. Like if I miss something, I'll usually like rewind and go back and listen. But it's definitely, lately I feel like I've been in that headspace of like, I need something that's predictable. I need something that like a little rom-com or something like that, because you know how it's usually going to end. You know where you're leading. You know that all of the shit that happens in the middle of it is not necessarily like world breaking. And so the book I'm going to talk about today is kind of in one of the, it's a thriller. And so it's like it's one of the reasons why I started leaning into some romance recently, because I had a string, as you know, the 4MK thriller. I had a couple other like murdery type books. And so the one I'm going to talk about today is in that same vein. And when I finished this one, I was like, I think I need to take a step back.
I need to have a break.
Yes, I need something that's totally predictable, either cozy or rom-com or something. Like I need something that's not like, oh my God, everybody's gonna die and people are doing terrible things. So
I feel like that's like, like a good palate cleanser maybe. Yeah. So.
I needed like 4. So I've had a lot of romancy type books lately that will be coming in the coming weeks for that very reason, because I needed a lot of palate cleansers.
Yeah. Sorry, friend of the pod.
Sorry. Yes, sorry. Well, at least today you're going to get a thriller. Okay, so this one today is called Little Ghosts by Gregg Dunnett. And it was a sister book club. And it's a thriller, and it's on Spotify Premium. Should you have Premium and want to use your hours for this? Okay, before I even get into the book, I have a couple of complaints to tell you.
About the book or just in general?
It's about the book, but more so about the title of the book and the blurb that you get from the book, like the description. Okay. So I already have complaints off the top. So the book is called Little Ghosts, plural. There's only one ghost in this book. So, yes. And then the blurb or description that you see everywhere is not what the book is about, like, almost at all.
I hate that so much. The amount of times I've been burned by a book description.
Yes.
Like,
it's so But I don't...
Frustrating.
Like, why do you do that? I don't understand. Just tell me what that book is actually about. Like, I still would have read it.
Yeah.
So I feel... So the blurb is, like, close enough to give you a notion of what's happening or what's going to be about. But nothing that you read in the blurb actually happens in the book.
Does it happen, like, before the book starts?
No.
Oh, I've had that before.
To where it's almost like the prologue.
It's like, yeah, it's like a prologue.
That's weird. So based on that information, I'm going to say base your desire to read this book based on what I tell you it's about. Not based on the blurb, because the blurb is not right at all. Okay, so about 2 years ago in the book timeline, Layla was 10 years old and 3 months. It's important. 10 years, 3 months.
Okay.
And that's how old she was the day she was abducted.
Okay.
She was then found, I should tell you, trigger warnings. Trigger warnings for child death and murderous, crazy people. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so Layla, 10 years, 3 months, was found brutally murdered 3 weeks later, dropped in the woods. All leads have officially gone cold at this point, so remember, we're 2 years past it. And Layla's mom is obviously in a very sad, vulnerable place here. D.I. Clark is the lead investigator, and he approaches Layla's parents to see if they would be interested in profiling the case on a TV show called Crime Stoppers. Basically, he's like, let's get the case out there again. Like, it's gone cold. We've lost all leads. Let's see if anybody actually remembers what, like, did they see anything that day? Like, whatever. If we get it on the show, it'll get more people to see it. Her mother agrees instantly to doing this, and so obviously she wants to find out everything that she can and get more information. They ultimately decide to go forward with it, and it actually results in some big tips that are called in.
Wow.
As this is all happening, Gale, who is Layla's younger brother, is now officially the same age as Layla was when she was taken. So he is now 10 years and 3 months. And he just so happens to know who murdered his sister because she told him.
Okay.
He's been seeing her ghost since she died. But she just started talking to him on his 10-year and 3-month birthday. She felt that because of his age now that he could grasp it and understand, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know why she chose for it to be his exact 10-year, 3-month birthday, but she did. But she starts talking to him and giving him all the information. But who's going to believe a 10-year-old that said he can see his dead sister? Right?
Right.
So
yeah.
the story is mostly told from Gale's POV. You get a little bit of the mom, you get a little bit of the detective, and then you get some from the killer.
Okay.
Mostly,
Do you get any from the ghost?
You do get a little bit. There's like one little spot in the book that's from her point of view. But mostly it's just through Gale's point of view talking to her. And then you do find out who did it around the 50% mark. And then once you find that out, it's kind of like a twist, like a pretty big twist that happens. And then I feel like it doesn't take any of the suspense away, though, because I feel like normally in those kind of books, like it's like a lot later that you find out like the big reveal. And in this case, you find out about halfway through, but the suspense then just changes. So it's in a new way for the rest of the book. So I did find that it was really, really good. I was engrossed in the story the whole time. I do have some things wrong with it, but for the most part, like the twist got me. And so I wasn't expecting it. I also really enjoy how it was revealed. Like, it was a really cool way to reveal it. I do wish the time, though, that was like... So, you kind of get some things thrown at you where it's like, maybe this is the person who did it. And almost immediately after, it's like confirmed, or like you find out who did it. And I wish there was more time between those two things to kind of give a little bit more suspense of like who actually did it. But I still really like how it happened. There at no point, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, so if you're concerned with that, maybe skip forward. But at no point do you ever get Gail being like, my dead sister told me this happened. Like, I really just wanted a moment. Everything is kind of like subtle more, like the way he figures things out and conveys the information is more hidden. And I really wanted a moment where he just like yelled at someone and was like, my dead sister told me.
Right. Yeah.
And we didn't get that, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, if you're going to include paranormal activity in a book, it kind of feels like you have to, like, I don't know, have a bigger role or have it play like a major role or something.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So, I don't know. I think overall, I did really enjoy it. I did originally rate it 4 graham cracker goldfish, whatever. But after talking to my sister about it, we both kind of had the same like thoughts and feelings or whatever. I think I'm going to drop it to 3.5. I think I'll still round it up to 4, but I think its true rating is 3.5.
Okay. What did she say to make you bring your rating down?
Well, some of the things that she was bringing up, like needing more time between like when you find out who it is versus, or who you think it is versus who it actually is. I agreed. Like as soon as she said it, I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I do wish there was more time there. And then there was a couple of like big spoilery things that she talked about at the end of the book that I was like, oh yeah, that could have been done better.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know. It was still, I still really, really liked it. I still was like engrossed in it. Like I finished it in 2 days or something. So still good. I do want to say though, this is not necessarily this book related, but it kind of came to me while I was reading this. It also might be because we had just talked about like all of the spoiler stuff with our like listener feedback and everything, and how I'm totally in the in the minority.
The minority, yeah.
I actually do feel like there's some cases where it would be fun to like know the spoiler first. Or to know the reveal. And maybe I thought of it in this book specifically because you do find out about halfway through the book, and it felt like it gave some more suspense later because like you know who it is now, and so you know how that person is involved in the story, and so it's like, oh my gosh, how is this going to play out? How are they going to get caught? Like how or whatever. So knowing who it was didn't necessarily change the suspense level. So yeah, I still don't think that I want spoilers all the time.
Okay.
But I can definitely see how it could help sometimes. And I feel that I'm open to test it out in a book soon.
Oh. Wow. This might be a turning point for you?
Yes. Like to know something, like see how it feels to know something going into it. And then finding out how it affects my like suspense thoughts or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so since it's been confirmed that the brother he's actually seeing a ghost.
Yes.
Does the ghost go away after the crime is solved, or does he see the ghost for the rest of his life? Is that ever brought up?
It is brought up. It's
okay. You don't have to tell me if it's spoilery. I was just curious if it plays a big part. I guess
it's not a big part. No.
Okay, but it is addressed.
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I think it's I can't remember if it's done in an epilogue or in like in a situation that's afterwards or whatever. But obviously it's afterwards, but. yeah, it is like a conversation that they have, and you find out like what's happening and like all that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was really cute. I mean, cute, I say.
You need to read a romance.
I'm saying it was really cute, the like relationship that he had with his sister. Like as children and siblings and like that. Child murder is not cute. No.
We're gonna lose listenership real quick.
I know. No, I did cry in this book. It was, yeah. I mean, honestly, last like 8 of the last 10 books that I've read, I think I've cried in. So it's not saying a whole lot, I guess, but yes, I did cry. So gosh, I'm such a crybaby.
I feel like we need to have like how we rate books 1 through 5. Like, how do we rate books for how much you cried? Like, I think you need to consider this.
I think I do. I need to rate it in like cry face emojis or something.
Like teardrops or something.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, there was book. What? I'm going to have to try to remember, because there was a book recently that I was like hard crying.
Like 5 teardrops out of 5.
Yes. I'm going to have to make sure I write it down, because I don't remember exactly which book it was. So,
man, this is great. I'm excited.
Great. Thanks.
I'm going to ask you that question every single time you say you cried in a book.
Okay. So I think this one might be 2 teardrops. Yeah.
Okay.
So not like crazy, but definitely it was there.
Okay.
Oh man, I'm so excited for this new, rating. And when I say excited, maybe not, because now I'm gonna have to pay attention to how much I'm crying all the time. Oh, hopefully there's other people out there that are like me. Please don't shake your head no.
Yeah, somebody let Vanessa know she's not alone.
Yes, please. Thank you. Okay, well, I do have a tiny listener corner for you.
Okay.
It's a little bit of a cheat listener corner. Okay. Because the listener is Tim.
Okay.
So the listener this week that I'm going to specifically call out is Tim, because he read a book that we recommended to him, Project Hail Mary. And one morning while I was at work, I got a call from him. I got a random call from him, and he said, "Who do you think you are? And what gives you the right to recommend a book to me that's going to make me stop in the middle of my run so that I can find out what's happening?"
See, yeah, that's like when you drive down a street and you're looking for an address and you're concentrating so hard you have to turn the music down.
Yes.
Like, that's what I think of. When you told me that, I was like, oh, damn.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Like, his feet could not be moving and listen at the same time. So for anybody who has read Project Hail Mary or is okay with a little bit of a spoiler. I mean, it's not a spoiler because he specifically requested that I do not spoil it. But he said there's a part in it where Rocky, the robot alien, I don't know what you want to call him, an alien, something could be going wrong with him. And you don't know how it's going to, what's going to happen or if he's going to make it. And that was the part where he called me and he said, "Tell me, but don't tell me. Tell me without telling me if Rocky is okay." And
so funny.
It was adorable. He was so excited about it.
He's like, "Tell me so that way I can start running again."
Yes, exactly. So he did finish it. And rated it 5 stars.
Yeah, everybody loves that book.
Yep. Nicole, you gotta change your thoughts.
I don't know. It's a cute book. I hate him so much.
Can I tell you something? He said that he liked it more than The Martian.
He needs to go back and fucking read The Martian.
To be fair, he said, I don't know if I really remember The Martian.
Yeah, go back and read The Martian. I almost went back and read The Martian.
Oh, really?
Just because I was like, like everybody keeps saying 5. Do I really, should I stick by my guns with The Martian is better? So I am actually thinking, I'm listening to, I just started an audiobook today, but I'm actually thinking that I might go back and listen to The Martian, not this one, not the next one, but the third audiobook from now.
Okay.
I will probably go back and listen to it.
Okay. I would be interested to hear your thoughts on it to see how you feel about it. Because, yeah, I mean, like I said he wasn't really sure if he could remember it. But, yeah. Also, if you can hear background, I'm sorry. My neighbor decided that right now is the time to do yard work. And so I'll apologize for any background noise. All right. Are you ready for our discussion question? Yes. All right. Do you have any unpopular bookish opinions?
I feel like since we actually talked about one just a minute ago. When you said
the spoilers.
The spoilers. Yeah.
Yes.
And apparently me not liking the
Project Hail Mary.
Apparently.
I know.
Unpopular book opinion.
Okay, but listen, I never thought that not liking spoilers was an unpopular opinion. I always thought that I was the majority there. So I'm still going to say it's unknown whether that's unpopular or not.
Oh, so you're trying to say that you still think you're right, and I think that's worth a repost.
All right. We'll try again.
We'll try again. I'm willing to double down.
Okay.
But I think if I'm remembering some listener stuff, I think me not listening to prologues and epilogues 100% of the time, especially epilogues, was kind of a big one.
Yes. I definitely think that one is a big unpopular opinion.
Yes.
I'm sure the authors would be on my side of that one as well.
Yeah. It's not even really like I'm doing it to be abstinent or to be like, I was just like, sometimes I read it, but like sometimes I get to the end and I'm just like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Me and Tim had a conversation about this yesterday or the day before, and he said, if it's an audiobook, yes. If it's a real book, he does not read either the prologue or the epilogue. So, yeah. He said if it's an audiobook, it's too hard to skip them. Yeah. But in a real book, he said, nope, I don't need to read those. And I told him that I was going to file for divorce.
Poor Tim.
I know.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Something else. Let me think.
The only thing that I can think of for me is not liking ACOTAR.
I was actually just about to say that.
Were
ACOTAR or like anything by like Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah.
Just not a Sarah J. Maas fan.
Nope. Samesies. So at least we're together in this one.
And then maybe a little bit of a unpopular opinion. I'm not really like a huge book talk fan.
Same.
I just I will say that, and I know we've talked about book talk before. I recognize that there are pros to book talk.
Yes.
We've listed them all in previous episodes, everything we could think of. But at the same time, I just have not had good luck.
Nope.
I purposely go out and look for books on Book Talk, or go into the store and you see like the Book Talk section, and I'll pick books from there. And
yep,
I try to pick books that have like in the 4 range on like Goodreads, and I'm just like, who is rating these this?
Yep, exactly.
So,
yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like another one of mine potentially. So it's like I would say mild, because I still enjoy them. And by them I mean romantasy books. Mm-hmm. But I feel like my unpopular opinion is that they're getting out of control.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
it's the market is so focused on that, and obviously it's making money, so it makes sense why the market would be flooded with them, and like that's whatever. But I just feel like the romantasy genre is so in your face, it's impossible to find anything that's like even just like a fantasy that has romantic elements, because obviously that happens, right? It happens all the time in those books, but it's like where the spice and the romance takes over. It's, to me, it's no longer, at that point, it's a romance book with fantasy elements. It's not a romantasy. Like, it's not a fantasy book, which maybe that's what they're going for. Obviously, it just came to me as I said the word romantasy. I was like, maybe that's what they're going for, is romance with a little touch of fantasy. And that's not what I want.
Something to get people like into the fantasy realm or something, like dip your toes in with romance.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I feel like that's probably an unpopular opinion that, and I'm not going to say I don't enjoy them, because there's been plenty of books that I've liked, but I just think it's getting a little out of hand. Oh yeah.
I'd like to, I might look up the statistics on that, because I'm curious, like for every romance or romantasy book or however many, like a thriller, for every thriller or nonfiction or whatever, how many romantasies are being released at the same time, right? What's that ratio? So
it's got to be crazy. I feel like
3 to 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's got to be, because it's just it's like it's everywhere. It, like I said, I get it. It's the big money maker right now. It's who's buying books, right? So I get it, and they're still fun to read. So I will read them as long as they're being released and out there in the world and stuff. But if I have to choose, I think I want to choose fantasy with romance, not romance with fantasy.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if, I'm sure it happens, but if like authors are like, oh, I have an idea for a book, and then maybe they start writing it, and then they're like, man, romantasies are really popular right now. Maybe I should just add in an elf. You know?
Let's add in some like a fae, and and let them fuck.
Right. And then, and then all of a sudden, they're making money.
Yep.
So.
I get it. Make your money, girl. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that one might be a big one. And I don't even feel like it's fully formed. Maybe I need some help with my thoughts, but I don't know. Whatever. That's how I feel right now.
Well, you did say it was a baby one at the beginning.
Yes.
So you can think on it some more. Come back to it next week.
Sure. I'll remember.
We will totally remember.
Oh, yes.
Where are my sticky notes?
Do you have more? Do you have more?
No, I can't think of any.
All right.
So
yeah, I think that's all mine too. I don't know. It's hard to think of what popular opinions are to know that I am the opposite of them.
Right. Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, tell us what your unpopular bookish opinions are. We would love to hear them.
Yeah, maybe we have them too.
Yes. Maybe we
didn't know it.
Yes, let us know. Go out to savorthestorypod.com and email us there, or go to any of our socials, Savor the Story Pod, and comment on anything we've posted and tell us about your unpopular bookish opinions. Any way you want to contact us, we are contactable. Let us know all the things. Support us by telling all your friends. Grow the pyramid. And that's all. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Yay. Goodbye. Good night.